You're Reggie Bullock in transition defense here. You've got to guard Joel Embiid. You get to the nearest body in transition. See, this is a humongous part. Dwight Powell's got to go over here. Like, you need to stay here. Like, what are you doing? So now Dwight Powell's just stuck in no man's land. And look, he's not going to be ready to guard this ball screen now. If you're Maxi Kleber, first of all, you got to get in a defensive stance with your feet set, and you probably want to drop high with this being Tyrese Maxey. You can still drop high and then be able to shift over to Embiid, but you got to be in a defensive stance with your feet set. Look at this. All you're doing is backpedaling, and hello, wide open three. Okay, so Jaden Hardy and Luka Doncic are defending in transition here. So once this shot goes up, stop. Luka Doncic needs to turn around and box out. Jaden Hardy can't just watch. He needs to get in front and box out. Look at these two Mavericks players. Like, you think your job is finished. It's not finished. You have to get the rebound. Like, Jaden Hardy is standing in no man's land. You're guarding James Harden here. This player's got to guard here. Okay, so you have to stay with James Harden. Stop. Like, you've got to stay here. So then now these players know, well, Christian Wood can come here, okay? Josh Green can go here. This player go. Like, Jaden Hardy just standing in no man's land is a problem. Because now we have two Mavericks players guarding one 76ers player. And you know what that usually ends up meaning. Okay, so this is off an offensive rebound. Jaden Hardy's going back out to the perimeter to guard. But why does he stop? Like, look at this. What are you doing? Keep going. So now look. Your feet, look at your feet. You're going this way as this player's coming this way. No! Kyrie Irving, you got to stay attached to your man, okay? Because if he slips this screen, you need to be going with him. Look at Kyrie Irving. He doesn't set a screen. Yet you're calling for a switch, incredibly late, by the way, and no. This is in transition, so Christian Wood's late to get out to Georges Niang. So if Reggie Bullock, what's happening here is Reggie Bullock's coming to guard the ball, and they're going to have Christian Wood come here. So if that's the case, Kyrie Irving's got to stay here. Like, look at this. There's just way too much. You have four Mavericks players all just staring at the ball. That is never going to work. Okay, so there's a little bit of a problem here. Dwight Powell is giving James Harden the baseline. He is. So if you're Kyrie Irving here, you got to know this, and you got to beat James Harden to this spot here. Like, you know you're going to have to double. James Harden's going to go baseline. You got to beat him to this spot. This player would then sink down, and we'd be okay. But Kyrie Irving does not beat him to this spot, and this double is extremely late. So Reggie Bullock is clearly trying to double Joel Embiid. That's totally fine. The problem here is look at Luka Doncic. You got to stay with your man. Like, this being this far on attachment, PJ Tucker is setting a flare screen that if Reggie Bullock is going to continue to double, then Luka Doncic has to switch it and come out. But Luka Doncic is in no position to switch it because he's here. So that's not great. This is unbelievable. It's transition defense. You got to get organized. Okay? So if Josh Green's taking the ball, then Maxi Kleber's got to go here. If Tim Hardaway Jr.'s guarding right here, then Reggie Bullock should go here. None of those things happen. None. How is that possible? Okay, we got a turnover here. Stop. Okay, so you're Kyrie Irving. You see this turnover happening. You got to start to get back. Like, you have to start sprinting back. Okay? Because if you don't, look at how long it takes you. Because you just waited like that, now this. You can never relax when you're guarding Joel Embiid. Look at Dwight Powell here. As soon as this pass gets made, stop. You need to get right up in Joel Embiid. Battle for positioning. All right? Like, look at this. You're relaxing right now. You look at Joel Embiid's catching this ball again. You're at a disadvantage. If you're Luka Doncic, you've got to be in a defensive stance with your feet set. Okay? Because look at what happens. When this pass gets made, you should already be coming here because this player's coming back down here. But look at Luka Doncic. Nope. 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 This is a ball screen right here. Who is guarding PJ Tucker? Like, he's setting a screen. So someone's got to get up here and be in drop coverage. Like, what is happening with the Mavericks? It doesn't matter how far off of Joel Embiid you're playing. You got to have your feet set in a defensive stance. Look at this Mavericks player right here. Stop. So his feet aren't set. Look at this. He's going uphill right now, so he's playing off his front foot as Joel Embiid's going downhill. And now you're just backpedaling. Again, if you want to play the gaps on Joel Embiid, you got to have your feet set. If your feet are moving inward, as Tim Hardaway's are, you have 0.0% chance of getting to Tyrese Maxey. This is horrible defense by Tim Hardaway Jr. You got to get your feet set. You got to be in a defensive stance. You got to be seeing the ball and your man. Tim Hardaway is 0 for 3 here. Look at this. I mean, this is wow. Maxey Kleber is committing to this switch too early. You got to play straight up one-on-one. If you get screened, and if this player comes off the screen, then a switch occurs. Look at Maxey Kleber. He's already committing to this switch. Well, Luka Doncic isn't ready to switch because this player hasn't come off the screen yet. So now Luka Doncic is off balance the whole time. My God. You cannot switch over the top of the screener. You've got to get underneath when you switch. Look at this Mavericks player switching over the top. Well, you can probably guess now what's next. Aiden Hardy is going to do what you cannot do, and that is anticipate a screen. Look at this. This screen isn't set. It's never set, but you were anticipating it, so it might as well have been set. And now this leads to a really late switch, screws up box out assignments. Okay, so Reggie Bullock has 0 chance of guarding James Harden, and it's pretty clear that he actually even believes so himself because he's literally just giving James Harden this angle right here. So that's going to, of course, require a double team. So stop. When a double team comes, you have to be ready to rotate. So this player steps up and doubles. Well, Tim Hardaway's got to come here. There is no choice. You have to take the helper's man. Right. All right, I mean, I guess the Mavericks want to switch this here. It really doesn't seem it's necessary, but okay. Christian Wood needs to be up here in a defensive stance with his feet set, ready to guard James Harden. You're not. So Reggie Bullock is angling James Harden this way. So this is where he wants the drop coverage to come. So one, JaVale McGee should probably get up a little bit. But two, again, you got to have your feet set in a defensive stance because if this pass gets made to Joel Embiid who ends up popping, you've got to be able to rotate over. And I mean, look at JaVale McGee. I mean, your feet aren't set. You have no chance of rotating now to Embiid. God, again, JaVale McGee. All right, you got to get your feet set in defensive stance because in this case, again, you're going to have to be able to guard the ball but also slide over to Embiid. Look at JaVale McGee. Not in a defensive stance. Feet aren't set. He's just backpedaling. You're not going to get over to Embiid in time. If Kyrie Irving wants to be in the gaps, this is not going to get it done. You're not in a defensive stance. Your feet aren't set. Look what happens. Look at his feet. They're moving inward. You have no chance of getting outward. What is Tim Hardaway doing? Why is Tim Hardaway going this way? Your man is here. What is... Look at this. What? You have no chance of guarding Tyrese Maxey now. It's just rip and go right by you. If you're going to double Joel Embiid, that's fine, but you've got to rotate. So this player's rotating here, this player's rotating here. Luka Doncic has got to be rotating here, and then Reggie Bullock goes here. But if you're late on any of these rotations, as you see Luka Doncic is incredibly late, boy, was that lazy getting over.